దేశం మనదే, తేజం మనదే, ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే, నీతి మనదే, జాతి మనదే, ప్రజల అండదండ మనదే. అందాల బంధం ఉంది ఈ నేలలో, ఆత్మీయ రాగం ఉంది ఈ గాలిలో. ఏ కులమైన ఏ మతమైన భరత మాతకొకటే లేరా, రాజులు అయిన పేదలు అయిన భరత మాత సుతులే లేరా.
పరాయి పాలనపై కాలు దువ్వి కొమ్ములు విదిలించిన కోడెగిత్తల్లాంటి అమరవీరులని తలుచుకుంటూ
నెత్తురు మరిగితే ఎత్తర జెండా,
సత్తువ ఉరిమితే కొట్టర.
I request all my dear friends to be seated near Central Vista.
నెత్తురు మరిగితే ఎత్తర జెండా,
సత్తువ ఉరిమితే
కొట్టర కొండ. జెండా కొండ కత్తి సుత్తి గిట్ట కోట కొమ్ము కోడే, వచ్చలేని కోడే, ఒంగోలు కోడే, సిరికల కోడే, సిరిసిల్ల కోడే, ఎల్ల ఎల్ల కోడే, ఎచ్చైన కోడే, రతికంట గట్టిది రాయలసీమ కోడే.
నెత్తురు మరిగితే
ఎత్తర జెండా, సత్తువ ఉరిమితే కొట్టర కొండ.
నెత్తురు మరిగితే ఎత్తర జెండా,
సత్తువ ఉరిమితే కొట్టర కొండ.
రయ్య రయ్య రగతం లేలెమ్మనే,
రథము తమ్ము గుండెల కగగన్ననే,
కూరరం పిర్రు పిర్రు పిగిసనే, అరసింహాసి కటి ముప్పంతా ముగిసనే.
ఇప్పుడు కాకుంటే ఇంకెప్పుడు వాడాలా, డప్పుల మేళాలు మహగప్పగ మొగాల. మూత కూత కొత్త కోట తూట వేగ తులు కోడే,
కసికల కోడే, కలకత్త కోడే,
కుజుగల కోడే,
గుజరాతీ కోడే,
నదిలాంటి కోడే,
ఎత్తూరు కోడే.
తిరుగేలేనిది తిరునల్వేలి కోడే. హాయ్
నెత్తురు మరిగితే ఎత్తర జెండా, సత్తువ ఉరిమితే కొట్టర కొండ. చుట్టు చుట్టు, 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 చుట్టు చుట్టు.
చుట్టర చుట్టూ తలపాగా చుట్టరా, పట్టర పట్టు పిడికిలి బిగబట్టరా.
చెప్పలు రెండు చరిచి జై కొట్టరా, మన ఒక్కొక్కదు కోట్లాది పెట్టురా.
చూడర మల్లేస చుట్టమైనది భరోసా, కుమ్మర గణేశ గుడగట్టర కుల్లాస. గింజల పల్లె పల్లె పంతమున్న కోడే,
జావి కోడే, నందనన్న కోడే, నందూరి కోడే,
పురుషాల కోడే,
అల్లాసి కోడే, విజయ విహారమే వీరమరాఠా కోడే.
నెత్తురు మరిగితే
ఎత్తర జెండా, సత్తువ ఉరిమితే కొట్టర కొండ. వాడు వీడు ఎవడైతే ఏందిరా,
నిధి నది మనదే ఈ జాతరా.
దిక్కులు నిండా దివిటీలా కొందరా,
తటారిలే కరువై శివమెత్తరా.
వెయ్యరకంటోరా, వెళ్ళి చెప్పర ఊరూరా.
వెనుకలు చెనురా వేల కన్నుల నిండారా.
అది లెక్క.
Hello everyone, I'm Anita.
And I am Keshav.
We wish a very pleasant morning to all the respected deans, professors, staff members, and all my dear friends.
The world is full of diamonds and gems, and now we are having a few of them here today with us to build this event. With this love, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to one and all.
Freedom is something that money can't buy. It's the result of many brave hearts. Let us honor them today and always. Hence, I wish a very happy Independence Day to you all.
Today, we have gathered over here to celebrate our 76th Independence Day. Hence, with this beautiful morning and the charming sunshine, let's begin this special event.
Now, I would like to request everyone to rise to welcome our honorable chief guest, Mr. P. Now, I would like to request everyone to rise to welcome our honorable chief guest, Professor G. Ravi Kiran Shastri.
Our honorable chief guest is now arriving at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Central Vista for the celebration of 76th Independence Day.
सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदोस्तां हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदोस्तां हमारा हम बुलबुलें हैं इसकी ये गुलसितां हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदोस्तां
Security Supervisor, Mr. Satyanarayana I, to kindly proceed with the parade. Now, the Honorable Chief Guest is being saluted by the platoon number 1 and it's being led by the security guard, Mr. P. Sivaya.
Now, the platoon number 2 is saluting the honorable chief guest, and it is being led by security guard Mr. K. Vamsi.
Now, the Honorable Chief Guest is getting saluted by platoon number 3 and it is being led by the security guard, Mr. A. Srinu.
The parade is being conducted under ex-serviceman Department of Security, NIT Andhra Pradesh.
Now, I would like to request Security Supervisor, Mr. Satyanarayana I, to kindly proceed with the Guard of Honor.
Security Supervisor Radha Krishna ji is accompanying Honorable Chief Guest Professor G. Ravi Kiran Shastri.
वन्दे मातरम् सुजला सुफला मलयज शीतला सस्यश्यामला मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी
Department of NIT Andhra Pradesh. Now it's time to show our gratitude for great tricolor flag. Now Professor G. Ravi Kiran Shastri on his way to the flag post to unfold the national flag.
कोई वर्दी नहीं जचती, वसन अच्छा नहीं लगता, सितारा साथ हो अगर कफन अच्छा नहीं लगता। दुनिया के अजनबी है हम इन रंग बिरंगों से, दुनिया के अजनबी है हम इन रंग बिरंगों से, तिरंगा साथ ना हो तो वतन अच्छा नहीं लगता, वतन अच्छा नहीं लगता।
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
భారత సంస్కృతి శోభాయమానం, మంచికి నిదర్శనం మన దేశం. శాంతి దీని సందేశం, అహింసా పదమే మన మార్గం. ఎందరో త్యాగదనుల త్యాగంతో సూర్యునిగా వెలుగొందుతున్న దేశం మన భారతదేశం.
I take this opportunity to thank Satyanarayana I and Radha Krishna ji, the Department of Security, NIT Andhra Pradesh, for their excellent performance. Now I request everyone to please be seated.
Now, I would like to request our Honorable Chief Guest to kindly deliver an Independence Day address.
First, I start with Bharat Mata Ki Jai. Today, it is a very auspicious day for our independent India. We are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of freedom celebration. Years of we got independence on August 15, 1947, and our government, we are celebrating 75 years of freedom, and we decided to conduct from last year to, and this is extended up to 2023, and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. I want to briefly give how the independence came, how we lost our freedom, and the glimpses I try to give in my this speech. So first, today we are happy. We are taking the Geet, ఈ దేశం మనదే, ఈ తేజం మనదే, ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే. So this country belongs to me. This country is mine. So there are no others ruling. Outsiders are not ruling. ఈ తేజం మనదే. So this glory is ours. So nobody is stealing our glory. And this ఎగురుతున్న జెండా, that flag is ours. So no British flag is here. No other country's flag is here. So we are very happily celebrating. And also, you know, my grandfather or your grandfather's father, so they are all in the freedom struggle. So now we are not at this stage. So how we lost the independence? This is called Asia subcontinent. Earlier we are with Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Burma, Afghanistan, even Indonesia some extent, up to Iran, our country is there. So our country is not invaded any other country. The only throughout the world, the one country which doesn't invaded other countries. But we got several invasions. So we lost freedom several times. Just I want to say the several things are there. Just I want to start with this. So in the 712 AD, Muhammad bin Qasim, in his second attempt, he acquired Sindh. So in the first attempt, he acquired Sindh. Now this is called Pakistan. So again, the United Indians so got, and in his second attempt, he got Sindh. So now this Sindh went to Arabs. And again Arabs invaded Kashmir. So the king Lalitaditya lost. And in 998 AD, Muhammad Ghazni, in his 17 raids, so he acquired some parts of the India. And he destroyed Somanath temple also in 1025 AD. And 1050 to 1070 AD, so Ghazni entered in the North India. And 1191 to 1192 AD, So the Delhi invaded by Qutbuddin Aibak and Prithviraj lost. So the Delhi, now it is under the capture of Sultanates in 1206 and 1453 AD. So that means around 250 years, Arabs, Turkeys, etc. ruled our country. And then in 1453 AD, Europeans starts their invasion. So why they came? Because we have so many that food grains, masala, etc., etc. So they came with the business. So then they started the French East India Company in 1664. From 1453 to 1664, they started small countries, small regions. And in 1664 AD, so the French East Indian Company they established. And 1605 AD, so our nearby Machilipatnam port they captured by the Dutch. Even if we go there, we can see the Dutch, these funerals, that places we can see. And the many people acquired India, like Genghis Khan, Alexander, Muhammad bin Qasim, Taimur, Nadir Shah, etc. And in 1175 AD, Turkish rule, Muhammad Ghori, attacked our India. And the British rule, so the East India Company, they started East India Company and they ruled our India from 1757 to 1858. And in the 1858, British declared that is their part of the country. India is the part of the country. And British rule started from 1858 to 1947. So, some facts. So, many people are thinking the British developed our country. Only further to take all our property, they have started the railways. So, so we can see the undivided India. We have 71,25,350 square kilometers with all Nepal, Burma, Bhutan, etc. But we lost 39,47,700 square meter of the land. And now the present India is only having 31,77,650 square meter. So we lost Burma in 1937, we lost Tibet in 1914, and we lost Nepal in 1904. And some parts of the Kashmir also we lost in 1948. So 1876, Afghanistan is divided, and we know 1947, yesterday, so the Pakistan and Bangladesh are split from our India. And that Rod Cliff, so they have divided the India. And 1948, Sri Lanka got independence. So some facts I want to narrate here. So 1850 to 1860, so the railways, the British started the railways. And they have done the construction of 1 track mile cost in the USA. They have charged 2,000 pounds. Whereas in our India, they charged 16,000 pounds. So that means for 1 mile of the land, railway track, they have charged 14,000 pounds extra from our India. So they stealed. And so many freedom fighters are there for this, and we got the Freedom India. And in 1942, so the Quit India movement, it is subsided and inspired by the Indian Army. And at 1892, I want to say few freedom fighters apart from Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar, and also Subhash Chandra Bose, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Subhash Chandra Bose, there are two ways of freedom fight. One is ahimsa and another one is the violence. So Gandhiji thought with non-violence, he mobilized all the Indians. So he has taken the help of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, because at that time so many Muslims are there, and also he has taken the help of Ambedkar, so many persons. And also Subhash Chandra Bose, so many leaders are under the umbrella of Gandhi. And Subhash Chandra Bose also inspired with the Gandhi. So he started Azad Hind Fauj in 1892. So Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, he was born in a rich family. At that time, so many people do not have food grains. And British people dared to give the boards in front of the hotels. So dogs and Indians are not allowed inside the hotels. So Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose was very upset with this. And he thought, so we have to do with the army only. Otherwise, this freedom they won't give with this Shanti. And while he was a student, one professor is humiliating Indians. So then the Subhash Chandra Bose was got angry and he slapped the professor. So for this he was rusticated from the college. So then he went to London and he studied the ICS. He cleared within the 6 months. He got ICS job. At that time, this is the collector, very high rank. So, but he didn't taken. So he thought of freedom. And also, the Netaji was in Indian National Congress. He defeated Dr. Patabi, and but due to the some difference of opinions, he resigned from the Indian National Congress. In 1939, he came out. Then he started the Azad Hind Fauj. So then he thought, so at that time there was a Second World War, and Japan is ready to acquire US. Only you know, in 1945 they attacked Hiroshima and Nagasaki with bomb blasts. Otherwise, Japan could acquire America, and also Hitler is ready to acquire Britain. So then he went to Soviet. Then again he met Hitler in 1941. So, but Hitler has not given full support. Then again he went to Japan. So, Japan in 1942 they captured the Singapore, and at that time, so British soldiers, 64,000 soldiers, caught as the war the jailers. In that, Indian army was 40,000. So then Japan offered Subhash Chandra Bose to take this army, and also this Subhash Chandra Bose, he mobilized. He told, so if you come, we will get the freedom. So for this, the Mohan Singh was given as the captain, and this Azad Hind Fauj, so they went from Singapore to Myanmar, again Myanmar to Kohima, and Kohima to Imphal. So they captured the Imphal also. At that time, so but they lost this due to the attack by the America to Japan, and the Subhash Chandra Bose inspired the Indian Army, Naval and Air Force. So the army people rejected to support the British, and revolts started. And also Lord Attlee, actually they declared independence India will be given in June 1948, but they have given at earlier due to the Subhash Chandra Bose. And also see in the 1943 December 29, so Japan given Andaman Nicobar Islands to our country, Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose in December 29, 1943, he did this flag hosting Tiranga in the Port Blair. So, and also he placed one currency. So many countries like Singapore, Myanmar, Nepal, etc. So those who got freedom, they accepted our currency also. But unfortunately, we lost the Subhash Chandra Bose. So, and also I wish to say, after the independence, what we got? In 1947, we got the independence. At that time, we do not have the food grains. We do not have the food grains. And our population is 36 crores. And now in 2022, we have the population of 138 crores. So now in the UNO, our Honorable Prime Minister told we will supply the food grains to whole world. So earlier we don't have the food grains, and Australia, Japan, America, USSR, they used to supply the food grains. And in 80,000 crores from 1950 to 1970, US given in the form of food grains, they have given. But their people are also revolting that why we have to supply our food grains to this country. And we started in 1947, 1 kg of rice cost is equal to 12 paise and 1 liter milk is equal to 12 paise. And there is no supply of milk. So many mothers and children died. And now we are in the number 1 stage of milk export. And food grains, we are at the 2nd place. And we eradicated plague, we eradicated cholera, polio, etc. And in 1994, in our India, we are having 40% of the polio cases. Now we do not have a single polio case. And also, so now you can see 1947, we have 50,000 doctors. And in 2022, we have 16 lakhs of doctors. At that time, we have only 725 primary health centers. And now we have 30,000 primary health centers. We are exporting also COVID vaccines and also medicines to our other countries. So we can see the glory of our country. So Lord Macaulay told, if this India is with Sanskrit or common language, we cannot rule. We have to inject. English is the only language. So now in NEP 2020, we are giving the priority to our all regional languages. And we can see back of Christ, BC 800, Bodhayana invented the origin of Pythagoras theorem. But we do not know, many of the people do not know. And Aryabhatta, he invented the value of 0. And in BC 800, Sushruta made 300 types of surgeries. But so many of us ignoring. And universities of Nalanda and Takshashila are there. So before the invasions, but we lost. So we see anybody, if we have the culture and origin, then only that country will survive. So Japan in 1945 attacks, they did not buy a single pin from the USA. They made self. And also Israel, you see, 25 taras, that 25 generations, they are in other countries. So now, but you can see some countries, they do not have their Persia, they do not have Persians in the Persia. So some countries, if we lost our culture and heritage, so we do not have any entity. So we can see that ISRO in 1969, they started ISRO. And the first rocket was done in 1963. At that time, Homi Bhabha and Vikram Sarabhai, they went with bullock in the rocket and they walk with bicycles. So right now, the first satellite in the 1975, the first satellite was launched, Aryabhatta. And Chandrayana, this detected our first Chandrayana detected the water in the moon. And you can see 600 BC, Kanada, he given the theory of atomic theory. And the first globe built by Kashmiri scientists without joints. So now we have electricity to all, education to all, freedom to all. So we are supporting our neighbor countries like Nepal, Sri Lanka, etc. Even you are also watching all this. So I request all of you, I will say the few freedom fighters by giving the claps. So like that, 3 times. Okay. So that freedom fighters, we give the tributes. Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar, Subhash Chandra Bose, Dayananda Saraswati, Ram Manohar Lohia, Mahatma Phule, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Vinayaka Savarkar, Rabindranath Tagore, Raj Bihari Bose, Mangal Pandey, Chandrasekhar Azad, Baba Balagangadhar Tilak, Alluri Sitaram Raju, Shyam Prasad Mukherjee, Arabindo Ghosh, Pingali Venkaya, who in this agenda, and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Bhagat Singh, Lal Bahadur Shastri, Asabullah Khan, Jayaprakash Narayana, Sardar Vallabhai Patel, J.C. Bose, Madan Mohan Malaviya, And very scientists are also there, ladies are also there. So all religions, Muslims, Christians, everybody supported our freedom country. But if we have the integrity only, so our country will survive for thousands of years without any invasion. So we must be together. So this is the reason of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. And also I request all of you to give big claps for all the freedom fighters, those who fight. And I am also very thankful to the administration of NIT Andhra Pradesh. I wish all the students for their happy, prosperous life. Thank you. So, Vande Mataram, Vande, Vande, Bharat Mata ki, Bharat Mata ki, Bharat Mata ki. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable speech.
And I request few of the faculty, staff and students also may give 1 or 2 minutes speech if they wish. Please come and give before concluding.
Bharat Ki Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is an initiative of the Government of India to commemorate 75 glorious years of the progressive India and its rich history, diverse population, magnificent culture, and great achievements.
On this auspicious occasion, we would like to present about a few of our unsung heroes of the nation. Now, I would like to call Abhimanyu Tiwari to present about unsung hero Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya.
The famed Indian educationist and freedom fighter, popularly known as Mahamana, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, born on 25th December 1861. He is known for founding the Banaras Hindu University and for becoming one of the torchbearers of the freedom struggle, acting as a bridge between moderates and extremists in the Congress. Drawn to politics in early 20s, Malviya joined the Indian National Congress and became president 4 times. He was one of the early leaders of Hindu Mahasabha, a social reformer and a successful legislator. In the freedom struggle, Malviya acted as a bridge between the liberal and the nationalists as the followers of Gokhale and Tilak. He was quoted arrest when he actively participated in the salt satyagraha and the civil disobedience movement. He was the freedom fighter credited with the popularizing the slogan Satyamev Jayate. Remembering his service to the nation 68 years after his death in 2015, the government of India awarded Malviya with the Bharat Ratna, Indian highest civilian award. In 2016, the Indian Railway started the Varanasi New Delhi Mahavana Express in the leader's honor. Great people like him can never be forgotten, and let's prolong the legacy of man for the generation to come. कुछ शख्सियतों को हम भुला नहीं सकते, कर्ज इनका कभी भी हम चुका नहीं सकते. एक अटल था, हुआ और एक था मालवीय, चित इनका हृदय से हम मिटा नहीं सकते. सरपरोसी की तमन्ना अब हमारे दिल में है, देखना है जोर कितना बाजू एक कातिल में है, जोर कितना बाजू एक कातिल में है. जय हिंद, जय भारत.
Thank you, Abhimanyu. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor G. Ravikiran Sastry, along with Dr. G.B. Veeresh Kumar and Dr. P. Dinesh Shankar Reddy for the prize distribution of the javelin throw competition that was actually conducted on 7th of August 2022 on the occasion of National Javelin Throw Day. First of all, I would like to appreciate all the participants for their active participation. I am glad to announce that the third prize was secured by Mr. Balu Muslaya for the outsourcing staff of Mechanical Department.
And the second prize was backed by Mr. G.V. Rama Prasad, regular non-teaching staff of EEE Department.
And the first prize was secured by Mr. Balram Kumar, PhD scholar of EEE Department. Let us join our hands to appreciate these 3 winners. Now, I would like to request Dr. Dharmateja M, Security Officer, to join on to the dais. And now I would like to call security guards P. Sivaya, Dinesh Kumar, K. Vamsi, A. Srinu, B. Baddu, N. Shantaraju, S. Prem Kumar, P. Venu, along with the supervisors G. Radhakrishna and Satyanarayana I. And now I call our chief guest, Professor G. Ravikiran Sastri, along with Dr. G.B. Veeresh Kumar and Dr. Dharmateja, to honor them for conducting breast drill. Let us give them a big round of applause. K. Vamsi, A. Srinu, K. Vamsi, K. Vamsi, B. Baddu, Security Guard N. Shantaraju, P. Venu, now I would like to call our security supervisors Satyanarayana I and Radhakrishna Ji. Satyanarayana I. Radhakrishna Ji. Now, I would like to call Sri Lakshmi onto the stage to present about an unsung braveheart, Oruganti Mahalakshmamma.
The unsung freedom fighter, one with a strong character and resolute, fervent supporter of revolution and social reforms, who zealously contributed to the struggle for independence with dedication, is Oruganti Mahalakshmamma. Her first steps into the history of freedom struggle began when she actively started leading campaigns against the high revenue collections by the colonial authorities. Watching the Swadeshi movement grow, she soon boycotted British goods and started Khadi market in Kavali, providing employment to a number of Indians. Her works came to the notice of British Raj when she actively started organizing committees and mandalis, Sangeeta Samajam, Bhajan Mandali, to take the struggle of Swaraj to new heights. Her fiery speeches invoked a sense of responsibility in other women, increasing their participation. Her works were not limited to the periphery of political struggle, but were also social struggles and empowered the vulnerable section of society. She was sent to jail for 6 months for her participation in the Salt Satyagraha. But this did not dampen her spirit, and she stood undeterred through rough circumstances. In the second wave of the civil disobedience movement, her electrifying speeches slayed the enemy and invaders, which resulted in her yet another 1 year-long imprisonment. This time around, her health was severely impacted and her body found it difficult to deal with the situation. This story of a compassionate social worker and a great woman leader, Oruganti Mahalakshmama, is worth the remembrance. భారతదేశానికి స్వాతంత్రాన్ని అందించేందుకు కృషి చేసి తమ జీవితాలను అర్పించిన మహానుభావులందరికీ ఇవే మా వందనములు. జై హింద్, జై భారత్.
I now request our Dean Student Welfare, Dr. G.B. Veeresh Kumar, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. Bharat Mata ki. Thank you. Good morning to one and all present here. Professor Ravikiran Shastri Garu, Dean of Research and Consultancy, in charge Registrar, and Dean of Faculty Welfare, Dr. Dinesh Shankar Reddy, Deans, Associate Deans, Heads of various departments, faculty, staff, and my dear student friends. It gives me tremendous pleasure to offer a vote of thanks. I take this opportunity to thank our in-charge director, Professor P.M. Padole sir, for giving us permission and supporting all the events that were organized towards the celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. Because of his busy schedule, he could not make it today here, but his support and wishes are always with us. I deem it a great pleasure to thank our Professor G. Ravikiran Shastri, Dean of Research and Consultancy, for gracing this occasion and giving us a detailed picture of freedom struggle of our great nation. Thank you, sir. I thank our in-charge registrar and Dean Faculty Welfare, Dr. Dinesh Shankar Reddy, for his continuous support and motivation. Thank you, sir. I am very much thankful to Associate Deans of Student Welfare, Dr. Kiran Tripathi and Dr. Talari Reshma, for their tireless efforts in organizing the various events under the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. I am speechless to express my gratitude to the Institute Doctor and in-charge Security Officer, Dr. Dharmateja, Security Supervisors and ex-Army personnel, Sri Srinivasu, Sri Satyanarayana, Sri Radhakrishna, Sri Potaraju, Sri Mohan Rao, and Sri MPR Satish and other security staff for their wonderful guard of honor. It's worth mentioning here that they almost worked and continuous efforts of practice for about 2 months yielded a very good performance today. I request all my student friends and faculty friends to give them a big round of applause. I thank Dr. Kiran Kumar Gurwala, HOD, and staff of ECE department, Mrs. Jayanti and team for providing audio system, and Mr. S. Venkatanaresh Babu, Institute photographer, for capturing all the memories from this event. I thank Dr. Pani Krishna K. of ECE department for his team for covering this particular event via Institute website, Institute YouTube channel. It is live now. You can watch later on also. You can recommend it to your friends. Thank you, sir. I thank Mr. Venkateshwar Rao, Executive Engineer, and staff of Estate Office for their continuous support for the events that we organize on campus. My special thanks to the staff members of SAS Department, Dr. V. Srinivas, M. Sai Ram Prasad, Mr. Surya, Mr. Manikanta, Mr. Ramchand, Mr. Girish, and Mrs. Bindu for their sincere efforts in making all the arrangements for the celebrations of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. And the Office of Student Welfare have organized few events like bike rally, flag and street distribution in nearby villages, Tiranga March, etc. In those activities, their contribution is very highly appreciated. I thank all the deans, associate deans, heads of various departments, faculty, staff, students for being part of this particular function. I thank group of students for hosting this particular celebrations as wonderful master of ceremony. Thank you, friends. Finally, I thank all the people who are directly and indirectly helped us in organizing this particular event. Thank you. Jai Bharat Mata ki.
Thank you, sir. I now request everyone to please raise for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
जय जय ना सरकार मेरी है ना रौब मेरा है ना सरकार मेरी है ना रौब मेरा है ना बड़ा सा नाम मेरा है मुझे तो बस एक छोटी सी बात का गौरव है मुझे तो बस एक छोटी सी बात का गौरव है मैं हिंदुस्तान का हूँ और ये हिंदुस्तान मेरा है I request everybody to join us to praise our motherland with exaltation. Bharat Mata ki jai. 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 Thank you everyone.